Okay, there we go. Again, welcome everybody to our regular Tuesday night Collaborating Connections professional networking group. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and I'm the leader of the group. And I want to welcome each and every one of you to tonight's call. Usually on a weekly basis, how we start off is to kind of open the floor to anybody who wants to share some wins or wonderful happenings from, say, the recent week. And that way we can all celebrate right along with you. We know when you're working your business, it's important to celebrate the small wins, uh, any activities that help us get closer to achieving our goals. So does anybody have any wins that they would like to share tonight? Anybody?
Yeah, I guess Adam with A&A Solar, you'll learn about us later. Hi, Mom. We actually have our first paying job tomorrow. So that's a huge win. And then actually we have our second paying job the next week. And then I think we have our third paying job the following week. So
My goodness.
yeah, we're feeling good. We got the truck all ready to go. Like you said, you'll find out about us later. But yeah, that's our win.
Super fantastic. Congratulations to Adam and Anna.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I had my hand up and I was talking and
Oh,
I was like, but my microphone was off and I wanted to share
okay.
my win.
Very
So
good.
congratulations to you to both with the win, but I'd also like to share my win is that I've discovered this tool called repurpose.io. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I create a lot of video content and now this thing helps me repurpose the content. I have monthly summits and I want to chop those up into bite-sized bits to put on my social media, and now I don't have to belabor over it for days. I can do it in a matter of hours. So it's really going to help me in my business.
Okay. And that is Repurpose.io.
Repurpose.io. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Okay, please do. Um, Before we go on with the wins, I want to invite everybody to put your information in the chat, and we will share that post meeting, so you don't have to worry about jotting down connection information during the meeting. All of the information that will be shared in the chat as far as connection information, I'll be sure to send that out in an email to all of our attendees following. So if you put your name, your business name, phone number, email, website, what are the best way to contact you and your business for individuals who may have additional questions or want to be able to refer you to others. So please do. Any other wins? I want to take the opportunity then to acknowledge, give everybody a chance.
Mine's a little bit silly, but for me, it's not, because I struggle with social media and I have my social media scheduled through like 3 weeks. So for me, that's a huge win.
Oh gosh, great, great. Yeah, scheduling can be a challenge for everybody, but it's wonderful that you're starting to manage that effectively and get it stretched out forward and get things organized for yourself. That always makes it easier for us to accomplish our goals. So congratulations on that. Anybody else? Okay. Well, as people are was that you, Jennifer? Did you have something? I can't hear you.
I couldn't. It's on my phone. Do you know how frustrating this silly phone is? I'm trying to get on my computer. No, it's just good to see everybody. That's a great win. And it's thank you all for jumping on tonight. And I would just encourage you, even if this isn't the format you want, or you're not looking, I can't imagine that you wouldn't want to jump in here every week and join us, because Dawn does a great job. But that you just keep that in mind, that you got to follow up.
Absolutely.
Please follow up. I say it all the time, but it is. I'm going to mute myself again, and I'm going to get on the computer, because I don't like it on my phone with all these faces and I can't figure out how to unmute. Now I can't figure out how to mute. Okay. But that's my win. Thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome.
Okay, well, Jennifer, before you switch up,
Yes, ma'am.
you know our next piece, I always invite you to give us the updates on what's going on in the TTR networking world.
Well, we have a lot of stuff going on. We actually have, gosh, it's probably a little more for the people who are local, unfortunately, but we are doing some online stuff as well. And Coach Lee and Adele, I know we'll both, I've got different ideas of some things that they can do for us with our TTR Presents. But the month of May is coming up very quick. No, it is here. Sorry. We have all kinds of things coming up. We have, if you are not signed up for, I've got an email ready to go with a bunch of our dates, but we have on May the 12th, for anybody local, there's an event called Business Spotlight, and that is not our event, but it is, inspiresmall.biz, and it's on, and you meet at Pinheads, and that's Pinheads over in, I think it's considered Fisher's over there, but you go in, it's from 11 to 1. So that's, and we are a local connector with inspiresmall.biz. So I just throw that out there. The following week we have a happy hour on Thursday. That's May 18th. At the what did I call it? The Movable Feast. And I'm saying most of everybody here will be on the email. If you don't get it, please reach out to me, but you'll see it probably tomorrow. But anyway, that is our own happy hour. We do a thing that'll be from 5 to 6:30, and then Friday the 19th, and these are all local, and I'm sorry guys for those who are not local, you, Adam and Anna, I think it would be definitely a little bit of a hike for you guys, but we'd love to have you come for an event. But the 19th is a multiple event day. We have our open networking at the Haverstick, which is Haverstick coffee thing that's on the backside of this big, beautiful church down on Haverstick. And we also have, it's the second annual race to support small business. People have been actually asking for in-person events again. So there's a lot of them happening, but we are not abandoning our online events. So those of you who are on here right now and saying, well, you guys don't do anything online, we really do. So just there happens to be a bunch that are happening in person. But that race to support small business for those who are local, that's at Launch Fishers. And it is a collaborative event with TTR Networking, Whiteboard Learning, and I think there's one other, well, inspiresmall.biz. So just, check us out. Please look at we have a Facebook group, we have a Facebook page, and we just love to have you there if you can get there. We are trying to do our happy hours on the north side, then on the south side. And vary it up a little. These months are going really fast. So all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, it's time for another event. I don't feel like I have enough time to plan the next, or, the first one, and then the next one's here. But just glad that a bunch of people are finding us. So thank you all for being on. I hope that covered the bases.
I believe
But like I said, I've talked to both Coach Lee, well, a little bit with Coach Lee about it. He's got some stuff coming up later in the summer, and hopefully he'll do a TTR Presents for us. And Adele, I think you could do that very easily. And Nikki, there is no question, because what you do is completely not what anybody else does in here. And obviously, you and Rosie and Theo have already met, right? Yeah, cool. So anyway, we're hoping to be a resource for everybody. So don't miss those opportunities to check out our face. And we've got people jumping on. All right, I'm gonna mute myself and jump on the computer so I can see everybody. This is crazy.
No
Good
problem,
to see everybody.
Jennifer. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so just to give a little bit of background about Collaborating Connections, we are part of the TTR networking family, which has been around for over 12 years. Collaborating Connections has been around for over 5 years now. We just had our 5-year anniversary celebration last fall. Of course, we started out meeting in person. We are the only TTR networking group that meets in the evening. And we were established to accommodate those who may have day jobs and are cultivating an entrepreneurial effort in the evening, or those who just have schedules that otherwise, don't permit them to get on one of the various calls during the day. So we meet at 6 o'clock to 7:30 every Tuesday evening. The TTR networking, the rescue networking, the rescue is an acronym that definitely identifies some of the key pieces of what TTR networking is all about. So just to share with you, the R is for relationships. We definitely value relationship building as an important part of our business building and ongoing efforts. Education. We not only want to share about our businesses, but we want to give each other some insight, some consumer awareness, and some useful tidbits about what we do so that people get to know us and our business and feel comfortable. S is for success strategies. Of course, all of us want to succeed. And when we're all in the game together, helping each other with referrals, with recommendations, with useful resources, those types of success strategies definitely help each and every one of us, and all of us can win. The C is for communication. It's important for us to voice who we are, what we're about, and to listen and to find out what others are doing, what their needs are. It's a part of our job as business owners and managers, and just helps us improve our overall processes. The U is for understanding, to take the time to get to know each other and understand how we can best serve each other and our customers. And the second E is for execute. For all that we do all the time, it would mean nothing if we don't get out and just do it. Work towards achieving our goals, show up and share, and keep each other inspired and motivated. So that is the To the Rescue, what the rescue acronym stands for, and what we as a TTR networking group endeavor to achieve. I'd like to go into our roundtable introductions right now, and I'm going to ask some of our seasoned members to go ahead and introduce themselves first, just so that you get an idea of what we're doing. If you introduce, tell us your name, what your business is about, what types of connections or referrals that you're looking for, and even share a little bit about what makes your business unique. Following the roundtable introductions, our special guests, Anna and Adam, are going to talk a little bit more in depth about their business. They have visited with us before. We haven't talked to them in a little while, so we're interested in finding out what's new and wonderful, finding out what's going on in your industry, and perhaps you can be available to answer some questions from a business perspective, and then just from the perspective of people who may be interested in your business. So we'll wrap up with our professional development discussion with Adam and Anna, but at this time, let's see, I am going to ask Nancy Vesley, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I am. Sorry I was late. Getting upstairs after feeding everybody takes a while some days. Hello, my name is Nancy Vesley. I'm with IHC Specialty Benefits. I do health insurance is my little niche market here at this point. And I enjoy helping people with their health insurance. If they have questions, they can call me. I can give them my 2 cents on their issues. A lot of times people just aren't sure where they can look, and I have resources I can suggest in some instances. I am also helping small businesses to give their employees health insurance to help keep the employees they have. Medicare, 10,000 people turn 65 every day in this country, so Medicare is a big thing, and you get a lot of phone calls when you have a Medicare person in your house. Take my word for it. I personally can vouch for that. But I help people with their Medicare situation. Right now it's kind of locked down, but if you're turning 65 or you're just getting on Part B and are interested in what your options are, I'd be willing to have a conversation with them. I think that's what I've got going. Oh, dog and cat insurance. If you have a new pet and you're interested in getting them some pet insurance, let me know. I got a plan that I really feel strongly for, because there's a lot of plans out there. The more I see, the more there's loopholes in a lot of them, but the one I have is pretty good. Nancy Vesley, IHC.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy. Nancy is a seasoned professional in the health insurance industry. And if you have somebody who's just got questions, she's an excellent resource for referral. So thank you so much again, Nancy. Let me see. Now I'd like to ask Nikki Deane. Are you there, Nikki? Okay. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. Yeah. So I see lots of familiar faces. So hello, everyone that I've already met. But my name is Nikki Deane, and my business is Liquidate My Estate. And what I do is help the aging community, their families, either when they're transitioning out of their forever home into a assisted living type of facility or some sort of older adult facility. I help with liquidating their personal assets in regards to their personal property. So, if you are moving out of a 2,000 square foot home into a 800 square foot apartment, you are not going to be able to take all that. So what I do is estate sales and estate clearing. And so I can help with everything from the estate sale to what happens with the leftover stuff that didn't sell. Is it going to charity? We could also put it online for an additional auction type of deal. And then any other services they might need with by referring them out to my network of professionals. So that could be anything from trash haul away, cleaning the house, real estate, agents. So again, that's for not professionals, I'm sorry. That is the aging population if they're moving into a smaller home, or unfortunately if someone has passed away and there's an estate to settle. So yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. And again, the connections that you're looking for are not only those aging
Yeah.
seniors who might use your services, but other partnering,
Yeah,
other
the
businesses.
connections that I am looking for are people such as real estate agents, other people that work in the senior sector. So anyone that is like a senior advisor or helps with placement in those facilities, anyone that works in those facilities, estate lawyers, anyone that really deals with the aging population.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks so much, Nikki Deane.
Thank you.
Let's see. Next, how about Melissa Johnson? Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. Good evening. I'm Melissa Johnson. I am a financial coach with Primerica. We take a unique approach to helping individuals learn more about their money and how they can hold on to their money a little longer. We like to sit down and just do a financial needs analysis with individuals so that they can start to plan for retirement or for children's college, different things of that nature. So I'm very much just right now, I'm just starting my business. So I'm looking to get in front of anyone and everyone. So anyone would be a potential client because in addition to those financial services, we can also help individuals we partner with a lot of different companies and we can help individuals with purchasing prepaid legal aid, home security systems. I can help you to shop your home and auto insurance. We partner with a lot of different companies. And so we just love to have the opportunity to sit down with someone and talk about what we offer and see how I can help them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing. Let's see. How about, I see CB Bjork on the iPhone. CB, are you available to introduce yourself and your business? Okay. I know CB's usually taking one of his kids to practice on Tuesday evenings, and he may be en route. So we'll circle back to him shortly. How about Jennifer Johnson?
Jennifer
Are
Johnson,
you
no.
ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes. I'm Jennifer Johnson. I am the founder of TTR Networking, and thank you all for jumping on here tonight. Don't be surprised if you get not only will Dawn post it, but I may get a picture or two. And this is what networking's all about. So truthfully, 12 years we've been around. I am a relationship marketing coach. I also sing professionally. I actually help position you to stay top of mind with your clients, with your prospects. It takes more, it literally takes, it can take many more than 5 contacts, but the least amount of contacts you usually, the average is 5 to 12 contacts you need to make with a prospect. Even after somebody has already used your services, they may forget you on a whim because somebody else comes along who, has got a shinier object at that moment, whatever that is. They forget you. So you have to stay in front of them. And how do you do that? There's a number of ways. Relationship marketing is all about that. So if you yourself are looking for some tools, one of them is networking. I also represent Promptings, which is send out cards, and I've talked to all of you about that at some point. I know Dawn swears by them as well, so I'm excited for that. But anyway, just who do you know though? If it's not you, you're here. Who do you know that's out there that is struggling and not sure where to go? And, how do you build a business, or how do you take care of the clients you already have, and continue to get more? There's a number of tools that you can use, and they're not necessarily given. You have, and I know I'm looking around the all of your faces, and I'm like, you all have bits and pieces of this. So it's nice that everybody is here, because I think by the end of the evening, you'll say, oh, I see what we're talking about here. It's really building relationships. So thank you for being on. Reach out to me if you'd like to join our, if you do want to join after this, we'd love to have you. You can visit a couple times before we're going to be, all about joining. But why you wouldn't, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for all being here.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're
Much
welcome.
appreciated. I see CB joined us again. CB, are you available to introduce yourself and your business?
There he is.
I'm trying. This iPhone takes me places I've never seen on Zoom. Lord. Anyway, doing tonight. That's good. You don't have to, I'm not even trying to move the thing around so I can see all you all, because when I press that screen, it then takes me away.
Oh,
Way.
okay.
Back.
We can see you.
So anyway, my name's TB Bjork. I'm Ascension imaging studio. I do headshots, product branding, real estate, and aerial drone photography. If you're needing photography done, basically I'm the guy who can get it done. I've had a camera in my hand for over 50 years and love to take pictures, love to capture images and do all sorts of fun stuff. So Robert, who unfortunately is not with us tonight, I did some work for him this past week with 100 Black Men with his nonprofit group that he does. So did that, and looking forward to other stuff coming up. So awesome. I'll let you guys go, but probably be here for about another 15-20 minutes before I have to drive. Great seeing everybody.
Wonderful seeing you too, CB. Again, specifically, what types of referrals are you looking for?
Well, I'm up in Fishers. So I saw that message there. I'm up in Fishers, but generally Indianapolis is okay. People I'm looking for, basically those who are needing a headshot for possibly a resume, for marketing, for those type purposes. Someone who's doing branding, who's looking at getting some social imaging is so popular for everything right now. I can't even begin to tell you. A lot of the content they want out there has images to it. So whether you're yourself branding your business, people want to see things visually nowadays. So anything along those lines. And obviously, if you're in real estate, looking to do houses, I have the drones too, so I can get good overhead shots of everything. So yeah, just anyone in that area. So here to help.
Good.
Question for you, CB. How good are you at driving your drones? And do they have lights on? Because I am wondering about, we have part of our basement that I'd like to get a good view of all the way around, but it's it's an unfinished part of the basement.
Yeah, with what my drone does, it would not want to go there because it will sense what is above it and below it and to its sides.
Okay.
So if it's like in a crawl space or something,
Yes, that's really good.
Mine won't do that because of how it's designed. I do have lights. It is an outdoor drone, so to that end, I do have the required FAA lights on the drone.
Thank you.
Yep.
CB, do you happen to know what type of a drone or resource would be useful to Nancy in the type of project she's considering?
On that one, I don't. Most of them have the sensors on them that detect things to the sides and above and below. Mm-hmm. She might do better to have one that is a vehicle that is kind of mounted on a car or on an all-track type thing. And I'm sure if she were to contact someone who does crawl spaces and things like that, they would know the equipment that she would need for that. So, because they're probably used to that, and they probably send stuff down before they send people down a lot of times because it's just easier.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. I'm gonna go ahead. My name is Dawn Evans Casey again. I'm the leader of Collaborating Connections, and my company is Spa Travel. We're a full service travel agency that helps clients have enjoyable, memorable travel experiences. A lot of people can go online and arrange their own travel these days. Certainly when it comes to the hiccups, the flight cancellations, the delays, your destination hotel not being what you expect, it's more difficult to get management to be responsive and get you on your way timely, safely, etc. I am not only helping my clients plan and book their travel, but I'm also continue to be an advocate for them when they run into those hiccups and have those issues. I am talking to those travel vendors, ironing out the issues so that they can have more of a stress-free or low stress travel incidents. So if you're interested in planning travel that involves, the transportation there, a resort or hotel, you want to plan tours and excursions and get the full package, Spa Travel is here to help. Dawn Evans Casey, Spa Travel. I also want to share with you, we have a member who is not here tonight, Robert Hailey, who is with who does mortgage banking with Old National Bank. So if you know of anybody who is interested in getting a new mortgage loan, buying a home, or someone who's interested in transitioning, downsizing, etc., and wants to know the ins and outs, Robert Hailey has more than 25 years of experience in mortgage lending and is an excellent resource. As CB mentioned, he had an event just last Thursday? I think Jennifer and Nancy may have attended. That was an open house at his branch. And I hope that he made many connections there. I was kind of hoping he'd be on to share that as a win for him this week. But certainly you can find out more information about him on our Collaborating Connections Facebook page. And as I send out, I hope everyone has populated their contact information in our chat room. I will share that with the group as well. So thank you very much. At this time, I am going to invite our visitors, Rosie and Theo. Are you ready to introduce yourselves and your business?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you. My name's Theo Stone. My wife Rosie there on my screen, it's right there. We're with Senior Hearts Homes, and we help families in the senior space, kind of like Nikki when they're transitioning from their forever home to a care community. A lot of times when we get involved, it's crisis mode. Mom fell again. Daughter Judy has had the same conversation with mom 3 times today. That kind of thing. So the family is usually, kids on average live about 400 miles away. So they're all spread out all over the place, hours away from mom. So we go and try to help relieve the stress of making that move from the home into the care community. And our focus is with real estate. And we're able to buy the home if they're looking to go to private pay, typically private pay community, and they need the money out of the house to pay for that. That's where we're able to buy that home. We actually buy the home ourselves and unlock that equity so that they can make that move into the community. One of the things that distinguishes us from other real estate investors, though, is that we're able to pay full price on the as-is value of the home. So a lot of times investors will come in and cut it by 20-ish% or more. We're able to actually bump up the amount that we're able to give them for the home. And then we also we'll let them leave whatever they don't want to take with them. Take what they want. You know, Nikki can help figure out what they want to take, going from 2,000 square feet down to the 600 or 800 square feet. But you know, we don't charge any fees for our services. Work with us. We want to be the face of the relationship with them. So we surround them with people to fix all the things we don't do, right? I don't have time to learn to be an expert in elder law or Medicaid or whatever else, right? So our focus is real estate, and I'm going to bring in Nikki to help with some of the stuff if they want to sell it. I'm going to bring in an elder law attorney if they don't have a will or a trust, that kind of thing. Even if we don't buy the home, we're going to surround them with these people. But that's kind of a nutshell of what we do.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Rosie, do you have anything to add, or? I think you're muted.
There.
Awesome.
There I am. Here I am. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. We certainly have noticed that the senior space is so large right now and in such need of advocacy and just people that care for them to meet in all of the open spaces that Theo and I cannot meet. And so building these relationships, like in this networking group, is just a wonderful thing for us. And Nikki, I wanted to tell you thank you. Earlier, we were able to meet with Tina today, and that was a great meeting. We really had a great time. And so just building relationships is very, very important to us. And on the lines of business, it's really important to us that we are able to meet their needs on their timeline. And a lot of other investors or real estate agents are not really able to do that. Those people provide the timeline for the families, whereas we can meet the families' timelines. So that we feel that puts us in a different niche than them. That makes us unique. And I think that's it. Oh,
wonderful.
Back to him.
Yes.
I guess on the front of, you know, who are good referrals for us and that kind of thing. It's the placement agent or the senior advisor, in-home care, people who are providing in-home care, who have been through this track, this path, this timeline before, right? Elder law attorneys, and so that's on the purchase side. That's when we're, you know, helping those families. But on the sales side, we also work to help people who have bad credit. So we'll do lease option type things. So the mortgage brokers who turned down somebody who couldn't get a loan, but they make decent income, we can put them on a lease option to help put them on a plan to rebuild their credit so that in 3 to 5 years they can afford the home and get a standard mortgage and that kind of thing. So we're kind of two separate spaces there, but.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the advocacy angle that you provide for that senior group. Seniors are oftentimes overlooked or taken advantage of in a lot of business situations. So it's really nice to know that there are organizations out there that are supporting them and doing things on their timeline to help and assist. So thanks again. Let's see, Coach Lee Hopkins, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I am ready. And so I'm Coach Lee Hopkins. I'm a social connections coach, and I help people experience the joy of connection, community, and camaraderie in their personal and professional life. So do you want to feel more included at work, meet an activity buddy, or make a close friend that you can share your deepest thoughts with? In my 12-week coaching program, I will help you get step-by-step directions on exactly how to find those people. And no, I'm not going to teach you to be interesting, entertaining, or outgoing, because that's really not authentically you. I'm going to teach you how to get to the right place, to meet the right people, to have the right kind of conversations that leave you feeling appreciated, understood, and accepted. So what I do is I help you feel less misunderstood, overlooked, and alone, and take your social connections to the next level. So I want to bring awareness to the fact that we need these deeper social connections. And part of this process is organizing monthly events to raise awareness to it. Because a lot of people know that there's something missing, something, and they just can't describe it. Maybe they have toxic friendships, but they don't know exactly what it is. They're always looking at, that's the friend that doesn't call me back. I'm surrounded by people who just don't seem to want to celebrate my birthday, or can celebrate my wins, or can even be bothered to talk to me. They're surrounded by people like that, and they don't know what it is. There's something about it. So I want to take that something and put something tangible to it. And as a social connections coach, I help people understand that thing, put a name to it. That thing is what they're missing. And so I have 3 steps to this process. I help people decide what they want in their connections with their friendships. Like we're asking here, who is your ideal client? Who do you want to talk to? Who is the referral partner that you want to, that same questions I ask for your friendship. There's specific actions and behaviors that you want from your friends. What are they? And then step 2, go to those places in which people are doing those things. Do not say that you want to hang out with somebody on the weekend and play basketball, one-on-one basketball with, and then show up at a bar hoping to find that person. They're not there. They're not there. So I help people not go to those places, repeat those old patterns, and get stuck with the people who don't want to answer the phone because I'm hungover. I'm not interested in hanging out with you. And then when we go to those places, step 3, we have the conversations. We talk about the things that we want to talk about. That's why people just dislike networking, or they can't find their friends. You know, my ideal clients are ones who go to meetups. They're constantly out there. They're looking to connect with people, but they have the most boring conversations. They're not stimulating. They're not interesting. And they meet a bunch of people and they're just like underwhelmed because they're not talking about anything. They're afraid to be rejected. They're afraid. So as a coach, I help them get out of that mindset and talk about the thing that is important to you. And when you see people that want to go away from you, then you let them go. You wave them on because they're not your tribe. You're going to be bored. You're going to be disinterested. You're going to find people who don't want to pick up the phone when you text them because you're not talking about anything they're interested in and you're bored. So I help people figure that stuff out. And so my ideal clients are people who go to meetups. And my referral partners are people who are event planners or organizers or do social networking events. People who are nonprofits because we're in spaces in which we have to be open and we have to connect with people. And those would be my referral partners. I'd like to talk to them, perhaps organize some events, work with them, talk more about this social connection that we need. I'm also, I think I said a few times that I organize monthly events. So I'm going to use this opportunity to share with you some of the monthly events. I'm looking for people to speak all the time about their disconnection. And I really could have talked to the ones here who were talking about death and loss. We were talking about death and loss last month because we need a support system in which we go through that process. If we go through it, we need somebody there that's going to help us through it. I think it's the worst thing in the world to have the crisis and think that you have a support system, but then you don't. And then you have not only the crisis to deal with, but now you have the realization that you're alone. So I'm trying to get ahead of that with my social connections events, get people to understand that they need a support system so that whatever it is, we can put something tangible to it. So I'm going to wrap it up with saying that I'm looking for event planners, other organizers, social networking events, nonprofit leaders. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Coach Lee. I noticed that you put the virtual event social
Oh,
Summit Series.
I know. Say
the
that 3
link
times fast.
in the yes, in the chat. Is there a date and time that you can share with us?
Oh, yes, it is May 20th. The May professional and working relationships. So it's all about being able to talk to your peers at work. I know a lot of people are just like, I'll be friendly, but I'm not friends at work. And I hope to change that dynamic because we spend so much time working with these people. Why not get to know them and
That
be
that sounds
safe with
like
them?
an awesome topic for the month of May for our TTR making the connection theme for the month of May. So we'll be sure and send that out with the follow-up information to this group and look forward to hearing more from you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Let's see. Adele Busch, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
I'll be happy to. Thank you so much and good evening, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name is Adele Busch. My business is ASB Business Services, LLC. ASB are my initials, Adele S. Busch. I named the business after me. I don't know why, but it just came to me and that's what I named the business. What do I do? Well, I do what most people do not like to do, what they don't have time to do, or what they're not good at. And I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. Let me ask you all a question. When was the last time you sat down at your desk in your office where it's quiet, undisturbed, and you were totally undistracted, and you did something that you really need to do? And what is that? This. You pick up the phone. You place a personal call to a customer, client, prospect. Maybe just say, hello, how are you? How is everything? Maybe you want to follow up on services or products that you recently sold to them. Or maybe just following up, hey, instead of sending you a text or an email, I wanted to call in person. When was the last time you did that? Now, a lot of people will tell me, oh, Adele, nobody picks up the phone anymore. Everybody texts and emails. But nobody ever answers, or it takes them forever. A lot of people tell me, oh, Adele, I think the phone's a great idea, but I don't have time. I'm running a business. I'm too busy out there selling my business and serving my clients. I don't have time to call. Well, this is where we come in. ASB Business Service is not a telemarketing company. We are more kind of like what Jennifer does. We're relationship management. We help manage the relationships that you have with your customers, clients, and prospects, and we do it by way of the phone. We also work in the business development realm. Maybe you have some clients or some prospects that you haven't followed up with a long time. Maybe you have some leads that you haven't had time to call, and you really want to get to know them or find out what their needs are and how you can serve them. This is what we can do. We can make those calls. Now, we work business to business. I do not work business to consumer. Maybe on a rare occasion for a real estate agent, I'll do some business to consumer. Most of the time it's B2B, and we work with professional services. I work with consultants. I work with healthcare professionals. I even work with some organizations. We make phone calls to members who haven't paid their dues or they haven't been around in a while. We call and reconnect. I do accounts receivable calls for some of my clients who have clients that haven't paid them. They're not collection calls. They're friendly reminders. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes they don't get the invoices. So we help manage that relationship and we keep it stable, we keep it amicable, and we put high priority on relationships in general by way of the phone. So that's pretty much what I do. ASB Business Services, we're headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. I work out of my home in Hilliard, Ohio, but we work nationwide. I have clients all over the country. So it's a pleasure to meet all of you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing with us. That's more a unique service that we don't hear about very much these days, but I can
Sure.
definitely see how that could be useful
Yes, ma'am.
to
It is.
businesses. Again, as you mentioned, it's the task that a lot of people don't get time to do or don't think about doing, but could really contribute to the well-being of their business, getting things done. So thanks
Yes,
again.
ma'am. What really makes my day is when I hear someone say, "Oh, I'm glad you called." Sometimes they need more products or services and they just don't have time. You call them and voila, you've got some more business and new business. So it works.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's see. I think we've covered everyone, and now we are ready for Anna and Adam Johnson to tell us all about their business, give us some updates on what you guys have been doing, and give us some tips and tricks of the trade that might be interesting and useful to us as business owners and consumers.
Cool. Well, going along with naming your business after yourself, we are A&A Solar. So I give you a lot of props, Adele. Anyways, we clean and maintain solar panels. Now, you may think that just it makes sense, right? Like you should keep your solar panels clean. Well, basically, yeah, you should keep your panels clean. And we started this company. When was it?
We had our own solar panels installed February 2021, and we asked the guys who maintains these, who cleans them, and they looked at me like I grew a second head, and they're like, the homeowner does. And then one of the guys was like, that'd be a good side hustle though. And so we took a few months of research and quickly realized this is not a side hustle, it's a business. We live in sunny Colorado, so very solar thinking crowd. It's sunny here. It's one of the sunniest states, even more so than Florida, Arizona. So lots of sunshine, solar energy, fields of solar. So yeah, we wash and maintain solar panels to increase efficiency and protect that warranty. A lot of people don't realize that they are responsible for their solar panels. Like you have to make sure they're clean and everything is good. But unfortunately, that's not something that is talked about in the initial sale. So I wouldn't have even known that had I not asked. So we're very much in the education phase, and we have been in the education phase since, I mean, we started this business June, July-ish, but didn't really get going with all of our like equipment and insurance and our logo and all the things that you realize that you're like, oh my gosh, I need this, the website, the business cards, all the things. So we really got started in July, August. So we are under a year old. And we are just very much in the educating people, meeting people, saying, hi, like, do you have solar? Did you know that those have to be washed? And it's usually a quick connection. Oh, that makes sense. Yes. And so we get on the roofs, we do the washing of the solar panels. We don't use any soaps or chemicals, just very clean water. And we have a one-of-a-kind system that we built out. And yeah, we just want to make sure that people are protecting their investment. It's a lot of money to put solar panels on your house and then just never think about them again. So just making sure they're cleaned and running well. We offer thermal imaging, so making sure that there's no overheating of the clusters of the PV cells. So hopefully we are wanting to build relationships with the solar companies themselves. So we can say, hey, your client here, they have an overheating of their cells in this section of their array. What can you do for them now so this doesn't cost thousands of dollars in repairs later? So just being those eyes and ears up there, making sure everything is running efficiently, getting rid of any pests that may have burrowed under and created little nests under the solar panels. Yeah, and just making sure people remember, like, this is an investment. You want to make sure you're protecting that investment and that they're clean and you're getting what the projected energy you were promised. So yeah, we go to a few networking events. We're part of the couple of chambers here, and lots of Zooms and calls and just saying, hi, have you looked at your solar panels lately? Just make sure they're clean so you get everything that you were promised with the energy. And residentials may not always be as big of a loss monetary, but when you look at those big solar fields, and those are filthy, I mean, that's thousands of dollars lost with missed energy. So really talking to commercial and getting out there for that. We hope to one day clean the solar panels on the White House, but I don't even think the government people know that like this is something you need to do. So just educating and saying, hey, like these need to be washed, and just making sure that there's a good standard. We have seen some people that say they can wash solar panels and they're, you know, window washers or they're pressure washers, and they're using the wrong equipment and stepping on the solar panels and causing microfractures. You want to make sure that you trust the people you're working with and that they're knowledgeable, and their niche. This is our, we wash and maintain solar panels.
I get excited, Dawn. I get excited. That's all I'm going to say.
I understand. I understand. It's such, like they mentioned, it's something that you think, well, it makes sense, but most people probably don't think about that in such detail. So I want to open the floor. Does anyone have any questions for Anna and Adam from a consumer standpoint or a business standpoint? Do you have any curiosities about solar energy that they might be able to respond to? I think I saw a hand up with Coach Lee.
Yay, see that, she picked me. I did have some curiosities about, like, how do you know the efficacy of the panels? So like, how much money am I losing if my panels are just covered in dirt? How is there like something that you would be able to know?
Actually, there is a solar irradiance a PV soiling versus solar irradiance equation that we can come up with. But basically, just dirtier the panels, the more you're going to lose. On average, for like residential, you're only losing 5 to 15%. But when you're covered,
that's every year. So you want to make sure you're washing your solar panels at least once a year, also to comply with warranty standards. Fine print, some of us don't always read that. I know I sometimes do not.
Yeah.
So that fine print, and just making sure once a year you're washing and maintaining them, but you can lose up to 30% of efficiency. Now, there's lots of things that factor into that. Most people that have solar panels have an app on their phone, so it tracks what they're actually earning every single day. So after a wash, they can log in and see, oh, wow, this jumped up 10% or 15%. However, if you have an overcast day, you know what I mean? There's some things that you have to be aware of. So if you got your panels cleaned, but the next day it's overcast and there isn't much solar out anyway, the sun isn't really shining, obviously that is, you know what I mean? There are factors in there that you have to think about and just be aware of. So, yeah, just making sure they're clean. I mean, droppings of, birds or leaves can block the atom heat. Yeah.
So basically, every solar panel is connected to the next solar panel, and that's the cells are connected. And if there's debris covering half of a solar panel, you could lose functioning on all of it.
Oh.
So, yeah, here I'll show you actually, real quick.
Can you do that? Wait a minute, Adam.
Oh, never mind.
Well, it's okay. Dawn, can you give him access? There you go. Thank you.
Did that? Yeah.
I think that's your screen.
Okay. It says you are screen sharing. I need to stop share.
You need to just let them share. I had told them if they had any kind of visual stuff. Can I ask while they're pulling that up though, guys, just everybody, you can put your hand up, whatever. Are we all in the education mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you are, I don't think I'm looking at anybody on here that's not always educating. So I would just say, Adam's my son, if you don't know that, but my Adam and Anna found a need. I mean, don't we all do what we found a need for? That there's something, I mean, I'm looking at everybody, you're all shaking. I mean, it's like we all figured this out, but people don't know what it is. I mean, you have to educate people all the time on what you do. And I don't know. I mean, Nancy, you were looking at solar panels here recently, right? And I was telling you that Adam and Anna should come on and talk about it. And you were gathering questions. So, I mean,
got my questions. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Just like, you know.
Ready?
Yeah.
So what is your energy company's number for when you give them 2 credits, they give you 1 back at night? You know how?
So it's different here in Colorado. So basically what they do here is we get paid for the energy that we pay back into the system and back into the grid. So we don't get credits or anything like that, but at the end of the year we get a check if we give enough money back.
Okay. Yeah. So then you don't have the 60% maximum that you can even start producing.
No, it's just literally as whatever the basically Excel is the local power company here. Just buys back the energy that we don't consume.
So do you pay an electric bill every month?
So in the middle of the summer when it's really, really hot, we have a smaller electric bill. Okay. There are some months that there is no electric bill. It just literally depends on how overcast it is or what the weather is that month. It truly depends on that. And my big word of advice for you, Nancy, call any solar company in the area and say, hey, can every house have solar? And if they tell you yes, run for the hills. If you really want a reputable company, you want a solar company that's going to tell you no, because not every house is meant to have solar either. So there's a lot of different factors in what makes a house good or bad for solar, like south facing or tree blockage, stuff like that. But basically, when you're looking for a company, just make sure that they will be willing to tell someone no. That's my big advice.
I have 2 salesmen that we've dealt with. We deal another one tomorrow, and you don't have to do anything to the panels. That's what they're saying. I said, you don't have to clean them. No, you don't have to clean them. So we have the warranties. We're going to check out the warranties and see what it says there.
The warranty is going to say you have to maintain your solar panels, and if you don't maintain your solar panels, you could be voiding your warranty. Now that's a pretty broad term, but why would you not get them just cleaned? You just want to get them scrubbed down once a year to make sure that they're at maximum efficiency.
Scrub down. That's a steep roof to put someone up on. It's like, oh. What about batteries? Are you involved with any you might not need them then if. So,
no, we do not. I've not done much research onto the battery. That's something that I'm actually getting into now. I talked with a company today who does that. So so let me be clear. I'm not going to work on I am not going to do maintenance, like taking it apart, doing any of the wiring or decommissioning the panels. Literally what I'm doing is just making sure, the pests out from underneath, the scrubbing down of that. So there's no actual physical working on the panels. I mean, I can look at your DC inverter. I can look at all the things, and make sure that they're running properly. But that's basically what I do. And if there is something that needs to be worked on, like say there's multiple hotspots, I can get you to the right people to get those fixed. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an electrician, so I'm not gonna work on that. But I sure as heck can point you in the right direction. I was close.
Your mom's right there. Don't say those bad words.
What were you gonna say? I was gonna say, isn't he cute? He's my son. And then he almost said something really rotten, and I was like, no. No, I can I just say for a minute though, these guys were they found a need. I already said this, but Adam, they didn't really go over this. Nancy, you probably have other questions. Maybe Coach B does too, because I know it seems like everybody's got questions. I will leave it at that, but I would just tell you, Adam drove to California
Yeah,
get
so let me give you a backstory and maybe some advice for everyone too. So we got a little bit of seed money to get this started and going. So I drove out to California in a truck, a big old Dodge Ram truck, and we got this skid installed to it. Basically, the skid has 2 pressure washers, a 100-gallon reservoir, and then what I did is I hooked up two tanks to filter the water, and then 2 actually other filters as well, and this one-of-a-kind system on the back of the truck. When we were there, the guy who sold me the skid is selling to solar panel, because actually solar panel cleaning is really big in California. It is heading out east. Usually it goes from California to Colorado down to Texas and then finally makes it out to the Midwest, you know. We went to California, did the training on everything, and I actually did take a 8-week class on solar panels in general. So I'm not just coming out of this from nowhere. I did do my schooling and, you know, made sure that I had everything. But anyways, so I get back and we just have been networking. But the only reason that I think that we're going to make it 100% is actually we're still working on the weekend. So we bartend and serve down at Denver International Airport Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday through Thursday, we really hit the books. So we're working 7 days a week. We're literally doing something every single day just to make sure that so basically what I would say is just make sure you have that safety net. So like if you are just struggling, like I don't know if you guys have ever served or bartend or whatever, but there's always something that you can do to make extra cash. You know what I mean? And don't drive yourself into the ground and burden yourself with a bunch of debt. Like work as hard as you can, even if that's, you know, working a night job, something, you know, that pays the bills part-time. So that has been the biggest thing for us, at least, because we have, we have that safety.
Can
net,
I
you know?
say the only reason Adam is, no, I shouldn't say that. When he was in high school, he was a handful. So we put him in a program where he worked in the restaurant half the day, and look where it took him. No, I'm just kidding. It has nothing to do with us. I'm sitting here very proud saying, and this is because look at what he's, you know, Adam, you know, I love you very much. So.
Well, do you realize it's probably been 10 years, almost to the week or day or something like that since we left. I left to Colorado. I drove off my little truck.
Adam drove out of our apartment complex we were living in because we were renting it. It doesn't matter. But he had this little dumpy. No.
I am so sorry to interrupt. I have to head out for an appointment, but it was so nice to meet you all. And you all are super amazing. Thank you for being here. And thanks for letting us speak.
Adam drove away in his little beat up truck and I let him drive across the country. Now, 10 years ago, Adam, that meant you were 23?
23, yeah.
And you drove away. But I remember thinking, if I didn't let him go, what was I going to do? But honestly, I don't even know all that he's doing. And I know, I mean, with what they've done, and Anna hasn't really spoken tonight, which is she's been on pirate radio.
The brains of the operation. I just get up on the roofs and clean. She really has been a driving force, getting everything organized, talking to people, emailing everyone. And it is really great being able to work with your significant other, because you can kind of spitball some things that you're maybe not the good at that they are, or, you know, or you can support each other in ways that that you just can't do by yourself sometimes. So I'm super lucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead.
Cool. I just wanted to say kudos to you, Adam and Anna, for stepping out and researching and preparing and then, executing this endeavor. And the smart way that you did it, that you work 7 days a week, that you're committed to what you're building. But you're not just going into it, you're still working, you're still paying your bills and getting things done as you're getting it off the ground. So, and that's exactly, as I mentioned at the top of the call, Collaborating Connections was meant to attract folks who are, maybe working full-time during the day, but cultivating that entrepreneurial endeavor and wanting to stay inspired and looking for ideas. So, you're an example in a very unique type of business. So kudos.
Actually, we are the only company in Colorado currently doing this.
Wow.
So we are creating a whole market here in Northern Colorado. That's where we want to focus, is Northern Colorado, Fort Collins, Loveland, Boulder, and eventually what we want to do is start sending up teams to mountain towns. So like Gunnison, Steamboat, all the wonderful places. Because unfortunately, it's probably going to be a pretty bad fire season this year, and I don't ever want to see a fire, but what we can do is really help get those panels cleaned after those fires too. So that's another thing that we're really going to lean into this summer, because we had a really, really, really wet winter, and it was a really, really wet winter before. So there's a lot of overgrowth, and it's just unfortunate that we have to deal with that here, but it is what it is. So yeah. That's it. So
okay.
yeah.
Solar panels by you. Like,
Say it again.
how many houses actually have solar panels out in Colorado?
So and actually this is more stuff that I've learned along the way. So we went to a title company, and you can pull all the addresses for every single solar panel in Colorado. So I have over 40,000 addresses for permits that have been put in, and I don't think that's all of it. So at least 40,000 homes or areas with solar panels. And actually we have solar fields left and right out here too. And eventually that's what we really want to get into, is residential is going to be our bread and butter right now, because that's just what it is. But eventually we want to get into the 10 megawatt, maybe even the 20 megawatt in St. Louis. Like it's gonna be, that's our future, we think. Or government bids as well.
Oh yeah.
I know getting in with the government is a little hard, especially when we have to create, like how do you get the government to realize that they need to clean their solar panels, so it's definitely a challenge. But yeah, every other house here in Colorado has solar panels, and I think within 2 years they have to any new build has to have solar panels on it. So it's huge out here.
Wow. I'd like everybody to think about, Adam and Anna have a story to their business, to their unique business, and they've got a way to share it and present it that catches attention. You may not need you may not have solar panels and need that service today, but it's an emerging business, and my neighbors have solar panels, we don't. And okay, now I've got something that I might share and talk with them about, whether they know how to maintain, and something for me to consider in the future if we as consumers were going to buy. It's just, in this month of May, making the connection theme, you have to think beyond, do I know somebody today who needs this? Do I understand this business fully today? You have to think beyond it and like, wow, this is something that's going to be big. And to keep in mind as you're engaging with your neighbor, your coworker, at church, out shopping, when you hear someone mentioning something about solar, you'll probably think back to something that you heard that Adam and Anna shared, and find out if somebody wants to know, a subject matter expert, some folks who are engaged that you can connect. So that's part of what our month of May, making the connection, is all about. And I certainly hope that following this meeting, as I send out the video and the connection, the contact information, we always encourage those follow-up discussions. You can do those in person, meet for coffee, set up a Zoom call, do a FaceTime on the phone, send an email, but there's so much to each and every one of us. We all have a story about how we got into our business. We all have a passion that we can verbalize and share effectively, thinking about Coach Lee's comments. It's important to communicate effectively and listen effectively. So once again, I want to thank you all tonight for the wonderful introductions, identification of your ideal referrals, clients, prospects, and potential partners. And does anyone have something, any other questions or something that they want to share before we wrap up tonight's call? Jennifer?
Well, thank you, Dawn, and Adam, obviously, I'm very impressed. You guys have done a lot of work, and but it's kind of, Dawn did a great job explaining how this was all. Adam and Anna came last summer before they'd really started networking, and started doing all that they're doing. And we've luckily, Adam calls us on a fairly regular basis, and we know kind of what's going on. But guys, if you think about your business, have any of us had, just like you say, you put your shingle out and then it turns into immediate business? Melissa's in a situation right now where she just wants people to hear her. And that's education, right? And it's education for us too. So maybe you're thinking, well, why would Adam and Anna in Colorado get on our call and talk about this? Well, if any of us, I don't know who of us was on a year ago, or not quite a year ago when they got on. They've still got the enthusiasm that they had back then. I was so excited for them, but now they know they are professional, they are ready. So, and you guys may think, well, and Nancy, or did you ask Nancy how many people? Yeah, you just did that, about how many solar panels. We're already talking, and Adam and Anna are not going to say much because they're probably trying not to jinx it, but nobody else is doing what they're doing. And they want, their knowledge, anyway, I know that they're already seeing people who are thinking, we could do it in Indiana. We could do it, wherever, and trying to think about how to do it less expensive maybe than what they did, because nobody really gave you a map or a job description. So they've been working on that. But I guess I would say to you guys, Adam, you're still looking, you found that a lot of your connections are like people selling solar panels, right?
Yeah, people selling solar panels and real estate agents so far, actually.
And real estate agents.
Real estate agents, because when they sell houses with solar, and a lot of the houses have solar out here, they just say, hey, you should get those cleaned before you get it sold, so they're most efficient. And this is the last thing I'll say about anything. It's kind of off subject, but if you guys have not started using AI yet, you need to start using AI. It is a game changer. We wrote a handbook. We created whole marketing campaigns. Simple emails AI can do. I know it's a weird subject for everyone, but if you're not using it, you're gonna get left behind. It's really been a game changer for us. Yeah.
Adele?
Yes. Adam, can you recommend what AI program you use? I know there's a few out there.
So I just have the basic program. I don't pay for anything, but ChatGPT, it literally is a game changer. And I was actually going to ask Coach Lee, is the thing that you suggested earlier open source AI, or is it something different than that?
The repurpose
What did I say?
10?
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
repurpose.
Or
Repurpose?
repurpose.io?
I believe it's AI, but yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
That's
thinking,
all.
I'm
I'm
sure.
definitely
I'm
gonna
like,
go check it out.
I think it
because
is AI.
What
Yeah.
is AI, guys? I'm not, I do know, but what is it? Tell us so everybody knows.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
So you can get, it's very, very, I can't explain what AI is, but basically instead of asking it questions and getting answers back, you need to prompt it to do things. Like prompt it to write, hey, give me a 12-page employee handbook on solar panel clean. Like, this is how crazy in depth you can get. Give me a 12-page solar panel cleaning handbook in the voice of Ryan Reynolds, you know, like, and it will give you a whole 12-page handbook and it will sound like Ryan Reynolds wrote it. It's unreal. And then there's also another open source AI called Dolly, DAELLE-2. And you can create images or social marketing images. So for President's Day, I have a picture that I made of Abraham Lincoln cleaning solar panels. For Easter, I did the Easter Bunny cleaning solar panels. You know, like you can create whatever you want by just putting in a prompt into AI. So I didn't mean to extend the meeting any longer. You should just look into it. It is a game changer.
Yeah, so I've used ChatGPT with Midjourney to generate images. So Midjourney is an AI to create images.
I'll have to look that up. I did not know that.
And it works with you have to use it inside of Discord. Are you familiar with Discord?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a plugin basically for Discord.
Okay.
But I used ChatGPT. I found a tutorial on this too. But you can tell ChatGPT because you have to train it, right? An AI you have to train, which is what Adam was talking about there for a second. You feed it a bunch of information in a training cycle kind of thing, and then you can tell it to do something based around that training. So I fed it training information, the documents from Midjourney. I fed it information about cameras, and I said, hey, create an image of a lion using this photo lens and this I forget what they call it exactly because I'm not a photographer, but the depth of field kind of stuff. And you did and it created the paragraph description. ChatGPT created the paragraph description that I then fed into Midjourney.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty cool.
If I could offer something about ChatGPT and kind of how I used it, for as a business owner, I'd really like to get into the minds of the people that I'm talking to, but I haven't met. And so you can kind of prompt ChatGPT to act like your ideal customer. You can say, I want to talk to this person. Imagine you are 30 years old who is looking for friendship and you can't find it, and ask them questions. What would you say to this? So then you would use it as if you were going to get on the sales call with that person and they have an objection. All right, you're ready for it. Something you hadn't thought of, but ChatGPT had gotten that information for you so that you can object. So you can, work your answer to their objection. So that's something that you could use it for too.
Interesting.
Wow, yeah.
Isn't that fun?
So while you're looking for opportunities to practice your presentation with individuals, you might be able to do that in an artificial intelligence realm rather than, having to find people to train with. That is great. I'm thinking about opportunities to do marketing or just make it easier to word emails and communications, where I sometimes sit down and struggle to find the right words. IA might be my perfect resource to do it in a much more timely manner so I can be more productive. So
I dropped the link in the chat. Go get that.
Wonderful.
That's the kind of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of funny, Adam, you posted something the other day. What AI's not, what did you say? Not.
So AI is not going to take your job. Someone using AI is going to take your job.
That's what he posted. Yes. And I was kind of like, oh, that's depressing. But if we all kind of look at, but it's true, probably, right? If we're not aware of it and using it, or at least using it on some level, right?
Yeah. It's helped me tremendously I've found so much information and I've done so many just different things setting up the company. So maybe sometime we want a franchise, like we have all that stuff already made up.
Yeah. Good for you. Cool.
Well, folks, that is what we are all about.
No,
That's
just a second,
why-
John. Adele, did you have a question or something? Or
I just wondered, are they free? Are these like chat
Sorry, Don.
GPT? It's free. Is it free?
Chat GPT is free. I've the Dolly, the picture one. There's so many credits you get a month. Then they renew. So if you go past those credits, then yes, you have to pay. There is a premium chat, but you don't need to use it unless you're super sufficiently knowledgeable about Chat GPT. You know. So yeah, just the basic one is totally fine, and you get everything that you need from it.
Sorry, Don, I didn't,
Thank
I
you.
thought she had a question there.
Not a
so.
problem. I'm so glad that you acknowledged her. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are just about at time to wrap up this week. I want to encourage everybody to do those follow-ups and reach out. You don't have to wait for someone to contact you. Feel free, once you get the contact list, to send an email or a text message, make that phone call, and connect and find out what more there is to know. To build those wonderful relationships, to gather the information about your someone else's business so that you feel comfortable doing a referral, and make sure that you share the important points so that they know what types of connections you are looking for. Jennifer mentioned earlier, we love to have people visit at least a couple of times just to check out who we are, what we're about, to see if this is a good fit for you. So I want to invite everybody to come back next week or another week in the future and join us for Collaborating Connections. Go forward. Have a wonderfully productive week. Take care, everybody. See you
Good job.
later.
Thank you, everyone. Be safe out there.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.